Guys, once again, this is Big Zo 20. Once again, hitting you guys up, and I know and I had this big old long speech last time about how I'm going to stop disappearing so much, blah blah blah. But every time I say that to you guys, something's coming up, and the new issue is that I am planning to move out of state. I do plan on moving to New York City permanently. So please, support me on that, and give me your luck, give me your love. I would love your support. It's just a decision a decision I made a couple months ago to just make a change, and I felt like I was in a rut. I aspired to be a screenplay writer, and a best friend of mine, whom I met since my freshman year in college, she also aspires to do the same thing. I think I had her in a video once. Her name is Shells. So for me, this is just a total good move to, start fresh and be in an exciting environment, and being in a place where opportunities like that can happen. I do love North Carolina. I do love Charlotte. But at the same time, it's time for me to open up to new avenues, and who knows what's going to happen. And I'm very excited about this venture, and I'm just very, very just on edge about it. So that's that. That's the reason why I've been prepping for that. It's going to happen at the end of June. So only 2 more months. I'm excited. So, okay, so here's the thing. Let me go ahead and weigh in real quick on some issues. Trayvon Martin controversy is why I'm making this video today. And I gotta be honest with you, I really refrained from making this video a while back. I know this issue has been a precedented issue since the beginning of March. I know that everybody has jumped on the Trayvon Martin bandwagon since the beginning of March, and I don't mean that in a negative way, but you'll understand what I mean by that at the end of this video. I'm not the type of person I did not want to make a video about this situation at that time because everyone else was doing it, for one. And number two, I wasn't sure how I felt about the situation until I learned more about it. I'm the type of person that likes to look at all facets and all sides of the spectrum before I weigh in, before I give my opinion, because it would just be so easy for me to give my opinion and come in and weigh in on George Zimmerman and blah, blah, blah. This video isn't about weighing in on George Zimmerman, actually. This video isn't even about weighing in on the scuffle or the opportunity that happened. Well, actually, I might weigh in on George Zimmerman a little bit. But this situation is weighing in on George Zimmerman's supporters. It is weighing in on the Sanford County Police Department. It is weighing in on all these people who are just coming to bat for George Zimmerman. And it's also, on the other side of the spectrum, weighing in on crazed Trayvon Martin stands. And so, I'm about to go in. Okay, so I don't even have to reiterate the situation. Everybody knows that in February, Trayvon Martin was shot and killed by George Zimmerman because George Zimmerman pursued Trayvon Martin because he looked suspicious in the neighborhood. And, everybody knows about the phone calls. Everybody knows about the police, the police phone calls where George Zimmerman calls Trayvon Martin a fucking coon. And the dispatcher tells George Zimmerman not to follow, and he does anyway. And whether there was a struggle, whether there wasn't a struggle, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it resulted in Trayvon Martin's death, unfortunately, and sadly. And for his family out there, I really, really, really feel very, very bad. I feel so horrible I have no idea what they must be going through at the moment. And honestly, I really, really hope that they find some type of peace at the end of this trial. As we know, George Zimmerman has recently been charged with second-degree murder, and it's going to be a big case. It's going to be a huge fucking trial, and we're all hoping that the results of the trial is very just and fair. But who knows? This is America. Once again, America is not the land of being just and fair. And I've said this before in videos. America is one of the most fucked up countries when it comes to the justice system. It's one of the most fucked up countries when it comes to being fair and being just period. So anyway, let me go ahead and weigh in. So as I said, I wasn't originally not going to make a video regarding Trayvon Martin. Now, on my personal Facebook page, I have already made many statuses concerning the issue. So that's not to say that I have not been abreast of the issue, and that's not to say that I haven't, felt some type of fucking way about it, because obviously I did. I was going to make a video until I just so happened to go onto this forum for some reason. I usually try to avoid forums, but I was going onto a forum where they were discussing George Zimmerman. And there was a whole shitload of people in there just writing for George Zimmerman. I mean, just absolutely going in on Trayvon Martin, absolutely going in on the fact, I think someone even made a comment on well, if Trayvon Martin didn't want to die, listen, if Trayvon Martin didn't want to die, then he literally should have not ever have walked through a gated community. Someone else made a similar statement saying that Trayvon Martin should have stopped and talked to George Zimmerman and everything would have been fine. Someone else made a similar statement saying that Trayvon Martin is not the angel that we thought he was. Obviously he was a thug, and obviously he was a thug and he had the right to be pursued. Bitch. Okay, let me weigh on the first one. First of all, if Trayvon Martin didn't want to die, he should never have walked through a gated community. What the fuck? Do you know how many times I've walked through a gated community? Do you know how many times people have gone to gated communities? As a shortcut. When I was a teenager and I would walk home from school, I would take shortcuts all the time. So how the fuck can you sit there and say that Trayvon Martin shouldn't have walked this way? That's a fucked up and bullshit statement in one aspect of it. On the other aspect of it, for y'all to say that he was a thug, does that, just because he was a teenage thug, does that mean he deserved to get killed? To get shot? See, this is the problem I have with George Zimmerman supporters, because their whole argument makes no fucking sense. It's as if they're saying George Zimmerman had the right to shoot Trayvon Martin because he looked suspicious. Because he wore a hoodie and, he was walking through a neighborhood and he ran away from him and maybe they got into an altercation. Who knows? We don't know. He looks fucking suspicious, so that maybe it almost seems like George Zimmerman supporters are saying that Trayvon Martin got what he deserved and it was Trayvon Martin's fault. First of all, let me put it this way. We all know, everybody's already written in the fact that George Zimmerman shouldn't have followed the boy. I don't even have to say it again, but I'm going to say that shit again. When he motherfucking decided to follow Trayvon Martin, that became the issue. And see, everybody wants to talk about the stand your ground law. Oh, the stand your ground law. Oh, it, obviously, George Zimmerman was abiding by it. How the fuck do you know? And my thing is this. If Trayvon Martin did decide to go ahead and whoop George Zimmerman's ass for chasing him throughout the fucking community and all this stuff, then, you know what? I feel like Trayvon Martin was well within his rights. And even if Trayvon Martin... Ooh. I'm sorry, that's the phone. Oh, it's somebody important. Even if Trayvon Martin did whoop George Zimmerman's ass, that ain't not warrant for George Zimmerman to pull out a fucking gun and shoot him. Because first and foremost, George Zimmerman, you pushed everything. You pushed your ass getting whooped. Everything is because of you. Because you decided to chase this boy throughout the community and come after him. So everything is your fault because you pushed the issue when it didn't need to be pushed. He was literally doing nothing and you started some shit with him. So that's beyond the point to me. These little motherfuckers and some black people going on the motherfucking TV telling some, well, clearly he was defending himself. Clearly he was defending himself. Were you there, bitch? Were you motherfucking there? And once again, as I'm going to say again, How is it self-defense when you chase somebody? I don't get it. It is beyond my comprehension of thinking. I can't comprehend this. How is it self-defense, excuse me for 1 second, how is it self-defense when you are chasing someone? When you are chasing someone through a fucking community? It makes no sense. Makes no earthly sense to me. And then I'm only living right on his little friend, Joe Oliver. And the whole situation with George Zimmerman is just all types of fucked up anyway. His original lawyers dropped his ass because he hasn't been communicating with them. That's suspect. They didn't know where the fuck he was. That's suspect. He's been talking to different people who claim that he's here, he's there, he's over here, he's over there. Where's Waldo? That's suspect too. So everything about George Zimmerman is suspect. Let me move on to the Sanford fucking the police department because they really pissed me the fuck off too. Once again, I can't reiterate how I don't understand people who are going to bat for George Zimmerman and claiming that most of everything that happened was self-defense when you were not there. How the fuck do you know without a shadow of a doubt, especially in the police department, when you didn't even put in a full pending investigation, not an even thorough investigation, when you didn't do any of this, how do you know without a shadow of a doubt that Trayvon Martin assaulted George Zimmerman to the point where George Zimmerman was afraid for his fucking life and had to shoot him? Do 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 do. Do 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 do. You don't know. You don't know because you guys didn't fucking investigate it. You guys didn't do a background check on him. You guys didn't test him to see if he was drunk or to see if he was doing drugs. You guys didn't do shit. You saw a dead black teenager and you heard his story and was like, okay, well, he defended himself. I don't even want to tell you how fucked up that law is anyway. That law basically says that you have the right to go and kill somebody and say it was self-defense and you're okay. You know, I don't get that either. However, I do believe that if it was little Caucasian Timothy Daniels, then, yeah, George Zimmerman would have been locked up. And I'm not the one that pulled a race card. You know, I'm always the person that always says this. I never pull the race card. I feel like it's a cop-out. I feel like it's cheap and I don't like it. But how can you not do it in this case? Especially involving the police department. And it's sad that the only fucking reason that you guys did something, or he was finally arrested, was because of all this media coverage. Because this media maelstrom of fury. That's the reason why you fucking did something. That is such a fucking shame. And all this type of shit happens all over the U.S. And not any of them gets this type of coverage. And I'm glad that the Trayvon Martin case did get this type of coverage because, you know, it needs to be out there. This is a platform for the unjust shit that goes on. So all the other hundreds of cases like these that happen that don't get this type of coverage, I feel bad for these people because, you know, what's going to happen for them? They don't have it's not going to be like, they're not going to get the same type of coverage that and the same type of media justice that Trayvon Martin is getting. So their shit's going to be unsolved. And it just pisses me off about the U.S. justice system that shit like this goes on all the time. All the time. Like I said it before, I just thank God that the Trayvon Martin situation was brought to light and it was this big thing. That's another thing someone tried to say on the news. They believe that the propaganda and the media has just blown this out of proportion. Well, fuck, if it was your dead fucking son, wouldn't you want someone to do something for you? If no justice was being found, if there wasn't at least a trial? He was shot and murdered and there was not going to be a trial? And you're going to sit here and say, you're going to sit there and have the audacity to say, oh, they believe that they're whoring out the media. Fuck y'all, okay? Fuck y'all. And I say that for the family. I'm talking for Trayvon Martin's family. Fuck y'all, okay? Even though I don't like their lawyer, that black guy, he just sounds really ignorant. I don't like him. They need to get a new lawyer, honey. They need to get a new fucking lawyer. And I hope they file a motherfucking civil suit against Sanford fucking County. I hope they do that shit too. Oh, Jesus. Anyway, so, what am I moving on to? I waited on that. Okay, so let me go on the other side of the spectrum. Trayvon Martin. Supporters. First of all, I just want to say that I'm very proud that there are so many people supporting this cause and this movement. And I believe that it has caused the unity between people. And, you know, I hate when tragic things like this happen, and that's what causes people to come together. But, you know, you get what you can get. And, you know, I'm glad that people came together on this issue and saw eye to eye on this issue. That being said, some of y'all are going way too motherfucking hard for no motherfucking reason. Now, mind you, I feel very passionately about what happened to Trayvon Martin too. I also feel very passionately about the unjust things that are going on involving his trial, his case, his investigation, everything. I felt very passionately about it as well. However, I wasn't posting comments on Facebook, comments online about some let's all, you know, pitch in money to get George Zimmerman killed. That's going way too fucking far. That is going way too fucking far, and that is not what this movement is about, okay? They want us as black people to act like buffoons and animals. And you know, some of you motherfuckers didn't disappoint. Spike Lee is one of them. How fucking dare you? Out of all the people here, Spike Lee, you have a head on your shoulders. You have made some very, very controversial films that make people think. You make people think, and you make people philosophically think about things. And you're gonna do the most ignorant ghetto shit of all and tweet what you thought was George Zimmerman's address, and this poor elderly couple got all these motherfucking death threats. Motherfucker, that was fucking childish and ratchet as fuck. And you know what? You lost all kinds of respect from me. You know, Spike Lee, over the years you were losing respect from me anyway, because every little comment you would make about other black people was pissing me off. Sometimes I agreed, but sometimes I didn't. I'm like, Spike Lee, who the fuck are you to judge other people? Okay? Let other people live their life the way they want to live it. Just because they don't all have the same vision as you does not mean that it gives you the right to come for other motherfuckers. So fuck you too, Spike Lee. And now, you doing some ratchet little shit like this. Aren't you like 60? Sit your old ass down. You should know better. You should motherfucking know better. Especially after all the movies that you've made about racial controversies. You should know what to do and what not to do. And you're going to sit here and tweet this man's address. Now, my thing is this. You told us that you didn't mean that, to do that to the McClains and all that stuff. What purpose did you have for tweeting what you thought was George Zimmerman's address? Let's say that was George Zimmerman's address. Let's say he actually did fucking live there. What purpose was it for you to do that? Because you wanted him to get hurt. Which makes you no better than him or anybody else out there that is racist. You know, I honestly believe that. All these black people out there, and white people too, who are making all these death threats against George Zimmerman, saying he should die, all this stuff, you know, it makes you no better than the racist people out there who have been defending him for, and blaming Trayvon Martin. It makes you no better. Now, all the people out there who saying that justice should be done, there should be a trial, there should be this, that's the right way to go. And mind you, let me say the back. Trayvon Martin's family, I can understand them having some sort of a homicidal rage to them. You know, if it was my child, or my nephew, or my cousin that I was very close to, or I knew, and I found that happened to him, of course we're going to be like, oh, you know, I just want to kill that motherfucker. But that's post-grief rage. I can understand that. But not jumping on some bandwagon about killing the motherfucker. And let's move on down the yellow brick road to Skittles and iced tea and a fucking hoodie, okay? People, Trayvon Martin was the victim here. So why the fuck do I keep hearing about Skittles, iced tea, and a fucking hoodie? I'm sorry, I understand they were very integral parts of the event that happened. You know, he only had Skittles and iced tea, so he did not have no weapons. And he was wearing a hoodie, so George Zimmerman thought he was suspicious. Okay, I get that. I get why it was made. It was very important. It was an important part of this event. However, people are taking that small, important part of the event and turning it into this huge overview of the event. Skittles and Ice-T are not Trayvon Martin's best friends. Why don't you guys go out there, go to Florida, and you know, have a thing for his friends and his family and everything like that? Instead of just always, you know, every time I see like, I got a flyer the other day talking about some, oh, we want you to come to this Trayvon Martin party, bring Skittles and Ice-T and wear a hoodie. I don't get it. And I know that some of you guys might try to explain the situation to me and might try to explain why it's so important to people. The Skittles and Ice-T part is so important to people. For me, as I said, I know it was an important part of this event, but to me it was a minute part. Let's get to know Trayvon Martin. Let's get to know the fact that he was an athlete. You know, what rank was he as an athlete? Let's talk about his games. Let's talk about him as a person. Let's talk about his friends, his family. Let's stop talking about Skittles and fucking Ice-T and a fucking hoodie. I'm sorry. I just believe that some of these Trayvon Martin supporters need to step back and reevaluate why you are supporting this cause and support it for the right reasons, not the wrong reasons. I mean, I feel like the Skittles and Ice-T thing is becoming quite a fad, and it's becoming a joke, and that's sad because you're making a mockery of his death. You need to stop. You need to stop. Okay. So I've weighed in on this whole situation on what I thought about the Trayvon Martin controversy. You know, people post your opinions and comments and stuff. I know at some points I was a little, you know, you couldn't understand me because I feel so passionately about this situation that sometimes I'm just very hard to understand. So, you know, write what you believe, what you think, your opinion. You guys, thank you guys so much for watching the video, and once again, support me on my move to New York, and please support the Trayvon Martin movement for the right reasons. Alright? Thank you. Peace, y'all.